Hey, what is going on YouTube? My name is James and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing this beautiful Sekonda from the 70s. Please focus. There we go. I think that's focused. I don't know. Sorry if it's not. So I'm going to be reviewing this. I'm going to be going into detail about where this watch originated because there's some interesting history behind this watch and I've done my research and I have to say it's pretty cool and I think you guys will like it as well. I purchased this watch on eBay for £13. As you can see, it's an aftermarket strap. This is a suede strap, which actually matches the colour of the bezel. You'll see it closely in a second. And I bought this suede strap for around £10, so the total cost of this watch on my wrist is about £23, which is a bargain in my opinion for the kind of watch you get. But anyway, let's take a closer look and I can go into details about the watch. So let's change perspective. Here we are. Let's get a closer look at this watch now. As you can see, it has some water markings in the top right here. It wasn't listed like this, so I was actually lied to, but I like the watch so much that I can kind of keep it despite this this damage to the dial, which is quite bad. I opened up the back and let it drain for a bit. Well, not drain, but just making sure there's nothing left in there. Did all the necessary things. It's clearly been this way for a while, so there's no damage to the movement, as you can tell, because it's still ticking away. It's a manual wind movement, but let's get on to a few other things first. So let's get into the history of Sekonda. So Sekonda, for those of you that don't know, is a British company and it was established in 1966. There's not really much else on the history of Sekonda about them in general, but I have quite a bit of history about this watch. So let's get into it. It's using the movement. It's a Raketa 2628.H. This was built by the Petro Druvets, sorry for absolutely butchering that, watch factory for the British distributor Sekonda. So from 1966 until 1993, Sekonda bought in complete watches from several Soviet manufacturers that were supplied with Sekonda's branding, usually identical to a model sold in the USSR under the local brand. So this is literally a watch called Raketa. The movement is a movement by Raketa and the watch company in Russia, and you can find this exact watch that says just Raketa. So they literally made like half of their watches with Raketa on the dial and then changed half of them to Sekonda and sent it off to the British distributor, which is quite comical when you think about it. It begs the question whether this watch is a fake, a replica, like a homage. You could call it whatever really, considering it is identical to another brand. And that brand openly put Sekonda on the dial. I don't know, I thought that was really cool. Cool bit of history from the 70s. This is an early 70s or mid 70s watch. And I just thought that was really cool. As you can see on the bottom, if I can get that in focus, it says made in USSR right there on the bottom. And there's literally the Raketas, which are identical. I'll try and put a picture up on screen for you guys right now and show you a Raketa. Okay, now that is the history of Sekonda and this particular watch out of the way, let's get onto some dimensions. This is a very, very nicely sized watch. Let's start with the case width, around a 36mm. So it's not exactly a small watch. It's not a 35, it's not a 34. It's a very well-sized watch. Let's do lug to lug. I find doing lug to lug the most difficult. It's like keeping it there. As you can see, it is about a 45mm. Sorry if you can hear all the cars outside, guys. It's around a 45mm lug size. We're looking at a very traditional 18mm. And the case thickness, let's have a look, around 11mm for the case thickness, which is very easy to fit under a cuff, and this watch honestly is a perfect size for me. I don't exactly know the exact size of my wrist. They're not exactly skinny as anything and they're not exactly large either, so this fits literally perfectly. This 36mm is just wonderful, and the size of the case as well is just perfect. So let me quickly give you a wrist shot and show you what it looks like. Okay, here it is on the wrist. As you can see, it fits very, very nicely with these wide and with these broad lugs, and the way the case is shaped, how it dips down towards the lugs, it gives it this very, very aerodynamic kind of look. It fits really well here and it slopes down into the bracelet or strap, and it really, really works with this sort of case design. And the way it's separated is just beautiful. This finish of polish with, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can get really close. There we go. You should be able to see that textured, sort of straight down brushed bit in the middle, just below the bezel. It is a very, very strange thing being there, and it works really well because it gives it this separation towards the lugs. Anyway, let me take it off. So yeah, let's get onto the case a bit more. It has this bezel. I like to call it a fluted bezel, though I've been corrected. It's called well, someone said it was called a Rolex bezel, based on the vintage. I can't remember which one they said, but I'm pretty confident this is a fluted bezel. It is a very sort of goldish tinted color. Now I'm not too sure if this was gold when it was made, like a gold color, but now it's kind of faded into this sort of color. And the reason I bought this is because it literally almost matches. It's like a perfect strap for this watch. I think it looks absolutely incredible on this, and it came on this just generic black leather, and I wanted to change it up a bit. I wanted to add something a bit more. So if you get this watch, I'd advise getting something similar to this because it works really well. The dial was it's almost like a starburst. Let me see if I can show you, a sunburst or whatever you want to call it. Do you see how it's bursting from the center and it spreads out? I can imagine without these stains, it was a beautiful, beautiful dial, and I still think it looks absolutely incredible. It has these gold accents, this gold outlining around the hands and the markers at each position, and a gold outlining around the date as well, and I think that looks absolutely beautiful. It gives a nice subtle burst, and with this bezel and the strap, it's all just so well done. You know, you've got the stainless steel, this silver outlining all over the watch finish. You've got this gold accents all over. It's a very, 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 very nice finish on the case. So I seriously think overall the aesthetics of this watch, if it didn't have this watermarks on the dial, obviously, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I think it is made perfectly. It's the perfect size. The case diameters, the sizes of everything is perfect. Just the overall look of this watch is incredible in my personal opinion. At the end of the day, this is my opinion, and I'm sure a lot of people out there disagree. Now, I'm not a huge fan of lots of gold on a watch. I think it looks a little bit tacky, I'm not gonna lie, a bit sort of like fuck you kind of thing, but this is like the perfect amount of fuck you, I guess. It's not too much, and it just really complements the watch. Like I said, this strap was bought especially just for this watch. I'm not putting this on any other watch because it's worked so well on this. It is a manual wind movement. I've just wound it all up, so I won't be demonstrating that because I don't want to overwind the watch, but it seems to be running perfectly. I've not had any problems. It's losing like a few seconds here and there a day, but nothing drastic, nothing I'm noticing, not like a whole minute or anything crazy. I haven't actually had to change the time since I've got this watch. I changed the date and everything, wound it up, and off you go. Now, the way you change the date number is you pull this all the way out and it switches. I would show you, but it's just too much of a pain in the arse to go all the way. So you have to pull it all the way out and it flops down, you put it back in, you pull it all the way out and it goes down another one, and you have to keep doing that, which is a huge pain in the arse, but that's the way this works. So at the end of the day, I would say this watch is a brilliant watch. If you can find this or the Raketa, which is kind of, I guess, the original, definitely pick it up. It's worth a buy. I think these are still going pretty damn cheap. You can probably find some more like this around the £20 mark. This has become a keeper. I bought this to review and then sell on, but I've decided to keep it. I like it way too much to get rid of it. I think it's a really nice looking watch, very elegant, and yeah, so like I said, if you see it, pick it up. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this review. Let's change perspectives real quick. So there you have it, guys. That is the review of the Sekonda. I'm gonna call it the Sekonda Raketa because it is obviously a Raketa. It's not a Sekonda, but there's no like branding or anything to specialize this watch to say it's this watch, which really sucks because I guess it is called the Sekonda Raketa. Very cool watch. I definitely advise picking it up if you see it. I really like it. I think it's a fun watch. I think it looks freaking amazing, especially on this strap. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and let me know if you've got one of these, maybe even the original Raketa. Let me know, or if you're going to pick one up, let me know. But thank you all very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. It helps more than you realize, and I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Peace out.